I saved a stray dog in Bahia, Brazil. But what I didn't know is that he was about to save my life 3 times. This is the story of Ted, the dog who taught me that sometimes when you save someone, you're actually saving yourself. And it all started at a moment when I felt completely lost. During a transition period in my life, I was leaving everything behind. My home state, my friends, my comfort zone. I was moving to Bahia, starting over from scratch, alone. And anyone who's been through a move like that knows it's terrifying. You wake up in the morning and don't know where you are. You go to bed at night and feel an emptiness in your chest. I felt lost until I met him. Meeting Ted. I was temporarily staying at a house while looking for a place to live, and it was at that house that I saw, for the first time, a medium-sized mixed breed who lived in a nearby square. He was different from other street dogs, incredibly well-behaved, gentle, and he had eyes that seemed to understand every word I said. He had a routine. Every day, at noon, he would visit a female dog who lived at the house where I was staying. He'd arrive, lick her affectionately, play, and go back to the street. But gradually, I noticed he started waiting for me too. I'd make up excuses to go outside just to see him, and he, with his tail wagging, would wait for me. Until one day, he disappeared. The disappearance. 4 days without news. I searched everywhere, asked everyone, and that horrible feeling, will I ever see him again? Until on the 4th day, I was driving slowly, still looking. I looked in the rearview mirror. There he was, a tan mixed breed running after my car. It was Ted. I stopped, opened the door. He jumped inside as if saying, "Finally, you finally stopped." I hugged him, cried, and that's when I knew Ted needed me. But what I didn't know is that I needed him much more. The decision. After that day, I moved to a house with a small square in front. Every night, I'd leave water and food for Ted in the garage. He'd come, eat, and leave, respectfully. Until one day, he stayed staring at me, as if asking for permission. I crouched down, looked into his eyes, and said, "Ted, if you want to live here, you need to accept some roles. You'll have to live with 2 cats, take baths, go to the vet. Deal?" He came in, sniffed everything, looked at the cats from afar, laid down in a corner, away from them, respectful, and that's how our life together began. I had saved Ted from the streets, but I still didn't know that he was about to save me too. In the first months in Bahia, I'd wake up in the morning not knowing what to do with my day. I didn't know anyone, had no routine, was just building a life from zero. But Ted gave me purpose. I'd wake up and he was there, waiting, with that look that said, "Good morning, you're not alone." I'd go out for walks with him, talk to him, share my fears, my doubts, my silence. Ted didn't judge me, didn't demand, didn't require anything. He just stayed. And in those difficult first months, Ted saved me from the loneliness that was consuming me. I had saved him from the streets, but he saved me from emptiness. Ted wasn't an ordinary dog. He had something I still can't explain to this day. He sensed things. When my mother became ill, in her final months of life, Ted started doing something strange. He would lie down at her bedroom door, like a guardian. He wouldn't go in, wouldn't bother her, just stayed there, watching, protecting. I didn't understand at the time, but today I know. Ted knew. He knew my mother was sick. He knew she needed protection, and he stayed there every day like a four-legged angel. In her final days, Ted didn't leave the door, as if saying, "I'm here, she's not alone." Ted couldn't save my mother, but he took care of her when I couldn't be present all the time. And that saved me from guilt. When my mother passed away in July 2017, I collapsed. The house became silent, empty, cold. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, just cried. But Ted didn't let me sink. He'd lie beside me, put his head on my lap, make a soft purring sound. Yes, he made a sound like purring, as if saying, "I know it hurts, but I'm here." There were days when the only reason I got out of bed was because Ted needed me. He needed to eat, needed to walk, needed affection. And without realizing, by taking care of him, I was taking care of myself. Ted saved me from the grief that was swallowing me. He reminded me that life goes on, that love continues, that I still had reasons to stay. Life with Ted was full of adventures. Moves, 1,200-mile road trips, adaptations. But the biggest scare was when he disappeared for 11 days. We were back in my hometown. I left Ted in my mother's backyard. When I came back, he wasn't there anymore. Gate closed, no explanation. I drove around the entire city, put up posters, cried every night. 11 days passed. Until I received a message. "There's a dog here that looks like yours." I rushed there. When the door opened, there he was, skinny, tired, but alive. The family who took him in told me he had crossed a busy highway, alone, looking for me. Ted saved me again that day, because if he had given up, if he hadn't fought to come back, I would have blamed myself forever. But he came back and showed me that true love never gives up. In 2016, after 8 years together, Ted started getting sick, leukemia. We tried treatment, but his body was tired, and the hardest day of my life arrived. The vet told me, "Margaret, he's suffering. The decision is now yours." I held Ted's paws, looked into his eyes, and whispered, "Thank you. Thank you for saving me. Thank you for everything." And then the final injection. It was at 5 p.m. I held him until his last breath. And in that moment, Ted saved me one last time. He taught me that the deepest love is knowing how to let go. He taught me that sometimes saving someone is letting them go in peace. Ted left, but he never left me, because to this day, every day at 5 p.m., my heart races. It's not anxiety. It's Ted saying, "I'm here. I'll always be here." I saved Ted from the streets, but he saved me from loneliness when I moved to Bahia, from grief when I lost my mother, from guilt when he disappeared for 11 days and came back, from the fear of loving again when he left. Ted taught me that saving someone is sometimes saving yourself, that love isn't about who needs more. It's about being present, being loyal, never giving up. If you have a stray pet, adopt them. If you've already adopted, hug them today. Because sometimes when you save an animal, you're saving yourself. This was Ted's story. the dog I saved from the streets and who saved my life back. But wait, the story doesn't end here, because something happens to me every day at 5 p.m. sharp, like a British clock, without fail. Coincidence? Ted talking to me from the other side? Or could it be another four-legged creature who discovered the secret of time? All I know is that at 5 p.m., something happens, something that will leave you speechless, and I'm going to tell you in the next video. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, because this story you cannot miss. And comment below, do you have a pet that does something inexplicable at the same time every day? Because here at PAWPRINTSCAST, we share my stories, your stories, and our stories for everyone who has a pet and knows this love is different from everything else. That's why PAWPRINTSCAST was born. Paw kisses, and until the next paw print.